Trying to sit on my pillow or my coat or something. This concrete is freezing. It's probably not freezing. It'll probably be freezing soon enough when they freeze us out. First they friggin' roast us to death. And next they're gonna freeze us to death, and then they're probably gonna starve us to death. And every other which way they're gonna come at us. Because I see it, and I know a lot of people don't see it yet. People are still all into the distractions that are keeping everybody from realizing what is actually happening in our. I gotta stop swearing. I think this is what they want, because they want everybody to be degraded and fighting with each other and everything. So I'm trying. I used to swear like a sailor, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I might slip up here and there, but I'm trying not to do that. And I'm trying to be kinder to people, even though they're retarded or, mind controlled, dumbed down, or whatever you want to call it. I'm still trying to be loving and kind to people, because they don't even know it's happening to them. I don't think they're. Most of them aren't aware of what's even happening, because my own daughter, who is, she's a fairly strong person. She's very capable and she's intelligent and everything, but she ended up still succumbing to the peer pressure and got the goddamn vaccination. I'll swear about that. But people swear about themselves, so that's not good either. They they use the adjectives. I mean, our language is really being messed with, and I'm like really good at English and sentence structure and writing and all that stuff, and I've been aware of these changes that are happening, that they're even the autocorrect is spelling things incorrectly. So what good is it? It's making, like a possessive noun out of a plural and vice versa, putting the apostrophe in it when it doesn't belong there. And then when it does belong there, they don't put it in. So I guess people, I don't know if they're mostly talking into the, when they're saying things and allowing, the autocorrect or the whatever is doing, because I don't ever use that. And a lot of times I forget to go back and reread what I wrote, and then I make my own mistakes that I need to correct. But, anywho, was gonna talk about maybe what, I don't even know if I should say anything or not, because I don't know if something's going down tomorrow or not. But, I don't know. They said that even Ken Wheeler, shout out to Ken, was saying something about something was going to happen on the 30th of September, and nothing happened. But I'm sure there's going to be things that are going to happen, and people are going to anticipate it, and people are going to say things because it comes to them and they think it's true at the time, or it might be true. So it's okay that they say it, even if they don't necessarily know for sure, because none of us know for sure what the hell's going on in this friggin' world. It's crazy. And we just have to laugh at it and try not to get all depressed and upset and angry, frustrated, because that's what they want. That's how they're getting our loose, harvesting, our emotions and stuff like that. So we got to try to keep our own frequencies high, and keep a resolve to stay in that space and not fall into this fear shit. Because even this whole, I get really upset when people curse me with that stay safe shit. Everything will be going fine. I'll be talking to them, and it's like, because most people can't even talk to me more than 5 minutes without getting triggered. And then I end up being the one like walking away, and they say, well, stay safe. And it's like, shit, I thought I got away without that. And they get me anyway. Because think about that. That's fear porn. They want you to be afraid. Stay safe from what? The boogeyman? I mean, if there's like, if there's a, some kind of obstacle in the way or big rock or something that you could trip over, I could see that telling you to be careful of something that's actually there. But just to randomly say stay safe when there's no immediate danger or anything to stay safe from, that's creating a state of fear in people. Like they have to be on guard all the time. They have to be careful. That came out a long time ago, that be careful. Now it's stay safe. And that just gets me because I realize that it's a spell, and their people are literally cursing the people they care about the most, their loved ones, saying that shit. So just be aware that you're doing that when you do it, and try to maybe not do it. You can do whatever you want, but I just think people are not aware of what they're doing. Most people are not. And so that's that. Okay, so there's a lot of things coming at us from all different directions. Almost everything is weaponized. So the biggest thing I talk about is the food. And if there's any questions anybody wants to ask, feel free to ask them, or at the end, you can put it in the comments. Now I got to start dealing with this thing. I was trying to get my giant laptop, well, I put it down on the floor, to do this live stream. But for whatever reason, I could not, I was able to get this. This is the library where I'm at, and I'm able to get Wi-Fi on my iPads, but I can't get it on my laptop. Why is that? Is there something I'm overlooking or not doing or not seeing? I went through a whole bunch of different things trying to get it to go on, and I couldn't, because when I have that on, I can leave the messages will stay up here. I can see them, but when I'm using my iPad, I can't do this. It won't stay up. It won't even go up here right now. Oh shoot, the light came on. Fudge. I didn't know that was gonna happen. I don't remember it ever happening, but okay, it's all right. So I'm trying to get this to stay up, and it won't. So I can't read the chat unless I keep hitting on it. And right now it's not even showing it, but maybe maybe if somebody says something. Can somebody say something in the chat? Just say hi or whatever, just so I can see if this thing is on and working. Because this, hi there, Dib. Okay, now I see it. Okay, but we'll see how long it will stay on. Now when that's why I like to use my big old dinosaur of a laptop. It's really not really a laptop because it's so big, it's so heavy. It's more of a desktop replacement. And when I use that, the chat stays up for me, and it's got a lot of other. It's an old iPad. I don't know how long I've had that thing. Look at here, how nice of a laptop. It's not an iPad. Here, can I show you? Darn it. I don't know how to, there, see? How nice of it. It's really big. Oh, I can't. But it's backlit and everything. It's not on right now, so this is all backlit. And I've had this for many, many years. And it's still running strong. And then I have these other that don't work as well. But I've had this iPad for quite a while. This is a 6th generation iPad. And I just got another one of the same 6th generation iPad, but it has cellular on it, so that's the one I can use when I don't have Wi-Fi. But right now I do have Wi-Fi because I'm at the library, but I can't get it on why I can't get it on the laptop, I don't know. So there's something, I don't know. I tried to get a hold of my daughter to help me figure it out, what I was doing wrong, or what I could do to get it to work, and I can't get through to her. So she's just up on the other side of the border in Vancouver, and I'm down in just below the border, Canadian border, in Blaine, Washington. And it's starting to get cold here. And so I'm going to be having to go south soon, I guess. I don't know at the end of the month if, and I need money to, is somebody saying something? It cost me, I just put gas in my car yesterday, $110 to fill it up. So this is getting ridiculous. I don't know how I'm going to keep being able to afford it if it keeps going up and up and up. And then maybe at some point they'll just cut it off and we won't be able to get any gas. And I'm more worried about getting gas than food because I think I can do without food. I'm going to have to use my glasses to see here. Collecting unfiltered. Hi. Okay, it goes off too soon. Hi there, hi there. Yeah, so I don't know, like when I was on the road, it was like when I was traveling back, it was like I had to get gas every other day at 60 something, $70. It's like, and then I was out of money, and I had to get a hold of my friends to help send me some money till I get back situated and build up some more funds. So one of my friends sent me a couple $100, and so that'll help hold me off for, help me out for another few more days. And then I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where I'm going, but I know I can't really stay here because it's going to get pretty cold in Washington. But right now it's okay. And I'm still getting, here and there, the cops are, somebody came to the car last night and shone the light in there, and I don't know if it was a cop or not, but I just said, okay, just stay still. Don't move or anything. Just act like I'm sleeping through the thing and just see how far they'll go to, because they didn't know if anybody was in the car, and I don't think they could see me. They were shining a light right in the car, but I was under my blanket, so maybe it just looked like it was empty back there and nobody was in the front seat or anything. So I think they just left me alone. I don't know if they actually saw me in there or just assumed nobody was in there. But they didn't say anything. They didn't knock on the window or anything like that they usually do, go bang, bang, bang and scare you awake. But they didn't do that. So, and that's up by the Marine Reserve place where I parked, tend to park a lot because nobody bothers me there. And I remember a cop asking me, is that you that I see up there parked at the reserve thing? I go, yeah, that's me. And he didn't say anything, well, you can't be there or anything, and there's no sign saying that you can't. And I just bought a pass, a state pass. It's like $10 a day to be on any of these beaches or in these parks, these state parks. And it's $10 a day, but it's $30 a year. So you might as well just get the whole year thing and pay it off. And then you legally won't get a ticket for being down here, So it's really nice here. You can see how nice and serene it is. Sorry I couldn't do it with my other thing, but the sun just went down. So it's got that lithium sky that I've doing. So anyhow, it is starting to get chilly here, but I like this time of year because you can always bundle up, put more clothes on. But like when I was in Florida and had to leave Florida because it was so hot and humid, and I thought, well, I'll go up to like the Carolinas, and I went to North Carolina, and it was just as hot there, maybe even hotter and more humid, or just as humid as it was in Florida. But I had to get out of there, and I had no air conditioning in my car. And that's part of the reason why I ended up getting this other vehicle, which is okay, but it's not what it wasn't bigger than my Cadillac. I thought I'd fit more stuff in it, and I fit less in it. I had to put my table, my massage table and everything up on the roof where I can't even get to it. Oh, thank you. I actually just got this recently. This is cashmere. It is so nice and soft. I love cashmere, and it's really hard to find. I mean, I guess you could find it if you could spend hundreds of dollars for it and you're rich. But like at the thrift stores, that's what I look for. And stuff like that, you can't even get at like Goodwill. They send all their stuff like cashmere and their jewelry and anything expensive like that goes to corporate. I don't know what they do with it from there, but it's us poor people don't get it, that's for sure. So anyway, does anybody want to talk about anything specific? Because man, there's some stuff up here I'm not paying attention to. I guess I gotta put my glasses on here so I can be the teacher here. Okay, who's saying what now? Matt, oh gosh, please don't call me madam. It sounds like I'm some kind of in the trade or something. I'm at Birch Bay, Washington, and Birch Bay Blaine is the area where I'm from, or I lived when I came back from Canada, because I lived in Canada for like 6 years or so, and then I got divorced from my ex, and it turned into an ordeal and everything, and I had to leave Canada, even though I went to Canada without him with my daughter, because he was all cracked out, and I said, I ain't having this anymore. You got to get cleaned up if you want to be a family man and stuff. Like I ain't having this. So my daughter was only like 3.5, and we went to Canada, and then he went into treatment for like 6 months. And then he allegedly got clean, but he did, and he finally stopped. And he came to Canada, and then we got married, and we were together for like 5 years. And then the last year he started running around cheating, whatever he was doing, I don't know. And so then I ended up coming back here to Washington. That's how I ended up in Washington, because it's right across from Canada from where I was. I lived in Salt Spring Island. That was the best place I ever lived in my whole life. And first I went to Victoria and lived there for a while. And it was nice there. My daughter went to school in French immersion. And so, anywho, that's how I ended up in Washington, because I was born in New York, then left there when I was 10, and grew up in Pittsburgh and went to school, got my education mostly there, got my teacher's degree in cosmetology, and then moved on from there to Phoenix. Then I went back to Pittsburgh for a little bit, and then because I got sick, I had that damn valley fever and lost a lung. And then I went to California, and I was there for like 13 years or something like that. Then I went to Canada, and then I came to here. So, and then when I lost my housing, I had Section 8 housing here, and then all the rents started doubling when they started pulling this nonsense, and I could not find another place to live. Everything was too expensive. All the rents went up to like $2,000 or more, and then the place, it was just, and you only have a certain time to use up to get a place on Section 8. They only give you 90 days, and so I think they even gave an extension, but there was nothing to be found. So I just got in my car and said, I'm just gonna try to make lemonade out of these lemons I've been given, and I just went on a trip all the way down to Florida. That's, some of you know, I hooked up with my friend Ariel there, and he almost killed himself wrecking his car. So I ended up Well, I went there by way of Texas. I stayed in Austin for a couple months there. I don't know how long it was, a while. And then I went to Florida and stayed there for a couple months in Gainesville. And then I left, and then I ended up in jail in St. Augustine. I was out looking for my raw milk, and I went to a farm, and they didn't have any. So they said, come back in the morning. So I parked down the road on a country road. Cops came and harassed me, pulled me out of my car without any shoes on, threw me in the cop car, searched my car, found some paraphernalia and whatever they used to, and all the charges were dropped because none of them stuck. And they call that like you're resisting arrest because they're hurting you when they're putting on handcuffs. You should have seen the black and blues I had on my wrist from how they had them on so tight. So and I wasn't even like really like talking back to you, like I know my mouth could probably get me in trouble, but it wasn't, and they wanted me to move somewhere else. And I said, why do I need to go up there when I could just stay here? Nobody's bothering me. I'm not blocking traffic. I'm not, but because I didn't do what they said, I blew my opportunity. And then it was, you're going to jail. And they took me to jail. And that's like one of the worst jails that is supposed to be in this country. I mean, the girls in there were telling me they are trying to worsen their charges so they can go to prison versus being in this county jail in St. Augustine. It was horrendous. I mean, I was traumatized. It took 9 days for me to get out of there because my daughter had to send money from Canada, and because it was another country and it was a different type of currency, it took longer for it to go through the process, through their, make their way through the system to get to me. So I had to be in there for 9 days for not even doing anything wrong. It's just amazing that. And lately, though, I've had more, the encounters I'm having with the cops now are more pleasant. I'm talking to them like real people, but I don't know. This one guy, he was only like 25, I think he was. And he wanted to be captain. So I guess they have to rank up their numbers of arrests to make it look good for them. I don't know how it works, but it was messed up. I should not have had that. And just the fact that I didn't have any shoes on, and I had to leave the jail with their fucking funky clogs that they give you to wear. That was really awful. So well, I'm glad that's behind me because that was not fun at all. Oh, hi, Lena. You're in Australia, huh? No problems there. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they say. So what's going on in Australia? I don't really know what is happening there. I understand that they're going through some hard times, though I don't really know. But I knew a girl, my daughter's friend, was going to go. She ended up going too, but she ended up coming back. I told my daughter, I said, you should tell her not to go there. I don't think it's going to be good for a Canadian in Australia if things start. So she got out of there, I think, in time. That I don't know, but I don't know what's going on there. Can you give us an update? Oh, good. Oh, I saw it. I saw it. That's good, though. Um, I don't know if you don't want to talk about it because you retracted your statement. So, but congratulations. I guess. I don't know if I don't want to go into anything like that if you don't want to talk about it. But I'm willing to talk about it, help people if they want it. Because I know, been there, done that, know what it's like. I mean, it's been a while, but I'm glad it's behind me. I wouldn't want to be in this situation now. I think about, shit, if they had that fentanyl, I mean, it was around, it's been around for a while, but they, I don't think they were lacing it into the supply until more recently. So I probably could have succumbed to that at that time. But that was back in the 80s when I quit. So it's been a while. Not that I mean, I had, that was just, I was shooting up doing heroin. So, and I started off with Coke, which I don't even like. And, uh, and it's funny that I get accused of being a meth addict, and I never did meth in my whole life. Don't want to, never will, and I'm glad I don't. I feel bad for the meth addicts because they're using that population to push their agenda. They're, I think they're experimenting on them. I think that's part of the Morgellon thing that they're using the people that are the meth addicts, and they're putting whatever the nanotech or whatever it is that's affecting other people like me who don't use it now, never did, but like I think they've been using that on them all along as like the test subjects for this vector of the Morgellons community, because they that's I think they're probably the cuts that they have are the same almost as the cuts that we have, and those of us who have it don't use this stuff. So why are they so much alike? So I don't know. I mean I think that it's the shoot, get out of here. I think that it's shit, I forgot what I was going to say now. I think part of what the cuts are doing is the heavy metals falling from the sky is in our whole system. It's in our the air, it's in the rain, it's in the water, it's in the soil, so it's going to be in the food. The whole cycle, it's all involved in there. But for some reason I'm thinking that they used, however, into the meth supply some of whatever the nanotech or the toxins that us who are experiencing this Morgellons are manifesting it in almost the same way. So I want to talk to Emily Moyer about this, but I haven't gotten a chance really to because I don't know if you know Emily. She has a really good channel if you want to listen to her, and she's an ex meth addict, but she's very, very intelligent, and she's got some really good stories to share. So I was hoping maybe I could hook up with her and start. I want to start hooking up with some other people. I'm starting to ask people if they want to have like do a video and talk about some of this stuff. She has experienced it, I think, on some level, but she doesn't talk about it that much. So I don't know how some people are like healing from it, but I think they end up, it comes back to them. I think a lot probably has to do with our diet, and I'm on like a really pretty strict diet. I mean, I do cheat sometimes, but if you guys knew what I ate most of the time, it's like what I eat in a whole day is less than most people eat in one meal. And I don't think we need all this food. I think we're programmed to eat like the way they have us, like 3 meals a day and snacks, and the whole pyramid is upside down. They have you eating like a zillion grains a day. Like, who can do all these servings of grains? And you shouldn't even have any servings of grains, let alone mostly grains. And then the good stuff they say at the top is like sparingly fat, when it should be this way, and you should be getting mostly fat and no carbs and grains at the bottom. Like, people don't realize that vegetables are not healthy. This whole vegan diet is a psyop, and I guess the vegetarians are a little bit better off because they aren't, they eat vegetables, but they still eat other things too. They eat like dairy and eggs, and egg is like a superfood. People that eat just the whites of eggs are cuckoo. They have no idea what health is if they think that's healthy. And especially if you buy them from the local markets where they're mass produced, not like on a farm or something. I buy my eggs only from a farm or a farmer's market that have their own, egg, the fresh eggs, because the ones in the store have polymers in them. Plastic. The whites of the eggs are not good for you. They are full of plastic. Now that's the ones in the stores, and the stores are ridiculous with all the toxins that are in the food. I mean, 80% of the packaged stale food that's in a package has so many, not just preservatives and all that stuff, but I draw the line at the natural flavoring, because I don't know what that is yet. Well, it's not about quality. In a way it is, but most people, they say, oh, eat a healthy diet. Most people do not know what a healthy diet is. They have no idea what a healthy diet is. Most people would say, like, eat salads and vegetable, and that's all the things you do not want. All these seed oils, nut oils, and everything are not good for us. The best kind of oils are fats, lard, like animal fats, not vegetable oils. No vegetable oils. And especially canola oil. People, I just heard somebody talking about canola oil like it's a good thing, and that's what they're feeding their children. Oh my God, what people are doing I'm sure they think it's healthy, but it's not. And these, if you, like in the packaging of food, you're going to see all these gums. There's xanthan gum, Arabic gum, cellulose gum. There's just a whole big long list of gums that are just fillers and just stabilize, whatever they're calling it. You do not need them. So I'm going to make a video, and I'm saving up some of the packaging to show people there are things out there. You do not need all these ingredients in there that are not any good. Like, you can look, I tried to look up some of these things that, like, they are banned in the United States that are not banned in other countries. I mean, they're banned in other countries and they're not banned here. They're like allowing all these things that other countries will not allow in their food system, or whatever you call it, production. So it's hard enough to find any good food. Really is. There's hardly anything good. Oh, it's beyond. It's just so there. It's like, it's almost, I don't know how to say it. I mean, it's kind of scary when you think about what they're doing. And most people do not read labels. And even if they did, they probably wouldn't even recognize half the words on there. And if you can't recognize a word, you shouldn't even be eating it. If you can't even pronounce it. And then now they're starting to use, I noticed they're starting to use all these, what do you call it? When it's a short, abbreviated word, and it's just letters like T, B, Q, R, whatever it is. There's these different things that are like, there's like, I looked up like just a typical, what was it, a Reese's cup? Reese's peanut butter cup? There were 3 things in the Reese's cups now that are banned in other countries. They don't have them. They have Reese's there, but they don't put these products in them that they're putting in the United States. So the few things I do buy at the store usually come from another country. I have stuff I'm saving up to show people that these other companies are not putting these same things in that they're doing in the United States. I got things from Poland, Lithuania, Ukraine, just Spain, all over the globe. I don't even mean globe, but all over this realm, let's say, of all these different things that it's like a total different system that we have here that they have there. And so 3 things in that one product alone, and all these companies saying the original, this, that, and the other thing, they're lying because the stuff that they're putting in these things that they're calling the original formula were not there, like 30, 40, 50 years ago. I'm old enough to remember these things, and I'm a very observant person. I've been watching these things for years and years, just changing like a little bit at a time. Just something as simple as watching the prices go up when they stay the same. Like if something costs, like $5 for a pound, then all of a sudden it's the same $5 price, $4.99 or whatever usually, and they lower the amount of incrementally, like an ounce at a time or a half ounce or something like that. So they're literally raising the price, and so people don't even recognize that it's being done, that the price is going up because the quantity is going down slowly, and people don't see the difference between a 6-ounce jar and an 8-ounce jar. I mean, if you put them next together, you could see it, but when you see them like all on the shelf, you probably can't even tell. But I really look for these things. I read every single label. I read labels on stuff I will never buy because I am just trying to connect all the dots and like document this in my mind. So, and want to learn as much as I can so I can pass it on to other people without passing on misinformation. Which could be very easy to do, but some people are doing it, must be doing it knowingly, passing on some of this information. Like Santos, I have lost total respect for him because he's a sellout and he's pushing agendas that shouldn't be pushed, and he should know better, but I don't know what the heck that was, but looks like somebody just gave to. Huh? I have a GoFundMe up, and a thing just came down like a banner. Like, did somebody here just go give money to that? Thank you if he did. I hate asking for money. I don't like being a charity case, but I get like $800 and some a month, and more than half of that, 2/3 of that is going to gas now. Like if I'm in one spot, it's not too bad. Like right now, I'm staying up in Birch Bay and Blaine and Washington because I'm near my daughter who is now pregnant, and she's little halfway through it, I guess. She's due in January, I think. So I don't know if I'll be able to stay here until January because it's going to get cold up here, and it snows and everything. And I like the snow, but I don't know how I would stay warm if I can't just run my car all the time to stay warm because that would make it cost even more for gas. $110 to fill up my tank. Oh my God. And that was at I think it was 5.35. And it's going up and up. I mean, there's gas stations now, it's saying 5.79 and stuff. So, oh my God, it's like, what is going to cost me $150 to fill my tank? Like when I was driving back from North Carolina, it was costing me like $65, $75 every other day to fill up my tank to keep going. I mean, I didn't let it go totally dry because I didn't want to run out of gas somewhere. And because I don't want to sure be stranded somewhere, especially in the dark and somewhere I don't know where I am. As it was, that happened to me. I got a flat tire trying to park somewhere, and I just heard, and I thought I hit a sprinkler because I hear this. I thought it was just water shooting up everywhere, and it turned out it was my tire exploded and all the air was coming out of it because I ran over whatever. I don't even know what it was I ran over. A spike or I don't know what it was. And so I had to wait there for AAA to come and change my tire, and it was such a nightmare. It took an hour and a half for this guy. First of all, it took about 45 minutes or so for them to come. It was just under an hour. And then it took him an hour and a half to do this job because he had to I had to help him get the spare tire off to put it on. It was just crazy. It took so long, and it was, at least the people were nice where it happened in front of their house. They came out and helped, and they called the police, which I didn't really want that. But the police came, and the police officer actually offered to help change a tire, but it wasn't going to happen because the guy that is paid to do that had a hard time doing it. So, but it was nice that he offered to do that. He says, because you might have to, that was before they came, because he says, you might have to wait like a couple hours just for them to show up. So they came within an hour, so that was good. So, all these things along the way, of all these obstacles and problems that arise from being homeless on the road, and you just don't know what to anticipate. I mean, I haven't had any, like, threatening anybody hurting me or anything like that, because I'm a strong person, and I think that part of it is that because I'm so strong, that I'm not vulnerable for them to come at me like that. So if I start getting in fear, maybe that would happen. But my goal is to be as fearless as possible and not attract that kind of stuff. I'm trying to put my shoe up. So these shoes are... sorry. Okay, well, I don't know how long I was. At least it stayed on. I wasn't sure how this was going to work because this is my old iPad, but I don't understand why I was able to get the Wi-Fi here from the library, because this iPad doesn't have the cellular on it like the other one does. And I don't have it on my iPad, but it usually picks up the Wi-Fi, and why it's not doing that, I don't know. Thought somebody could help me. I thought my daughter could help me. She usually helps me with stuff like that because she's more computer savvy, and I'm just a tech tard. You know, just I fought this tech all tooth and nail the whole way. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I still don't have a smartphone. I have a flip phone. And how long that's going to work, they're probably going to make that not work anymore, you know, at some point. Because they're literally giving seniors, and probably and other people too, because I think Matt at Quantum Conscious, I think they sent him one for free, and he's not a senior yet. I think he's like early 50s. So they just sent him one, and he says, well, I guess I have it, I'm going to use it. Does he not get that they're giving, anything they give you for free is not in your best interest? I can't even believe he would fall for that. And I saw signs, you know, seniors, free smartphones. I don't want anything smart. Those smart meters on the wall are, you know, like come right through the wall, give you headaches and make you sick. Your whole system can get messed up from that. I mean, I'm affected by the frequencies. That was one of the reasons I left Washington, was because of those frequencies. But they could probably hit you up anywhere you are. You know, like here it's not too bad because I'm by the ocean, and it seems like there's less cell towers along the ocean and in the national parks. So I hang around the parks and the beach and stuff where there's not as many cell towers, because I am highly affected by those frequencies. And I noticed too that there's certain times when I'm talking to either my daughter or other people, like the way, you know, we're starting to talk about something important, and all of a sudden these really high pitched frequencies start coming in, or these squeaking noises. It sounds like nails on a chalkboard or something. And like when I'm talking to my daughter, she doesn't hear it, but I do. So I don't know how they're doing this. And we thought maybe it was the elevator she was getting on, but then it was happening where there was no elevator involved. So and it's affecting other people. People think they're hearing ghosts, and when they're hearing these tinnitus and other sounds in their head, voices and stuff, these are not ghosts or anything. These are frequencies and voices riding on frequencies on different machinery and fans and refrigerators, motors, and stuff like that. They can carry onto there. If you want to hear more about that, go to Look Out for Charlie's channel, and they talk about this and they debunk all this ghost and people thinking that's what it is when it's not. It's the tech doing it and the frequencies. So I don't know if other people are affected by frequencies or not, but I probably will start talking more about that unless ScrewTube starts knocking me down again for talking, like as somebody was telling me, oh, you should, because I was talking all this stuff to them. They go, why aren't you talking about this on your channel? And as soon as I started talking about this stuff on my channel, not necessarily what I'm talking about right now, but other stuff, they took down, deleted 2 videos in the fall, that 1 week when I first started saying some of the shit that I know. And I've known some of this stuff for a long time, and I had no one to talk to about it. And I still kind of don't. I mean, there's some people that can handle what I have to say, but for the most part, most people can't. And like, I guess to some people, like, it means like they have to do something about it. Like I noticed that with my daughter. She don't want to hear things because she feels like she needs to do something to change it. And I try to tell her, I'm not trying to get you to do that. I'm just trying to make you aware of what's going on. Because who knows how people are going to survive what's coming down the pike. And I don't even know if I will, but I don't even know that I want to. The only thing that keeps me alive right now is my daughter, and the fact that she's having a baby, and I hope I can be part of that life. But as it stands right now, she lives in Canada, and I am not allowed in Canada. They consider me a felon, because that was another charge that I had 3 times I got charged, and only 1 time did I deserve it. And this other time was when I didn't deserve it, but I was like, it was a traffic violation, and they declared it a DUI because it was one of those traps, and other people got caught in it too. It wasn't just me. And it's always like sort of at the end of the month in Montesano, and it happens over and over and over. And I paid somebody $500 to try to get that undone. He gave me my money back and said, I can't do it. He says, it should be, but like they put a lock on it so that you can't, once you're caught, like, because then they would admit that they were wrong, and they can't have that. So they make it look like you're the bad one and you're wrong. So because of that, Canada is considered a felony. So I'm a felon there, and I can't go back into Canada. And my daughter has started coming down here. It was the first time I saw her since December of 2020. So it's like almost going on 2 years since I had seen her last. And I just saw her for the first time in all that time. And now she's got her little baby bump and everything. So I'm excited about that, to be a grandma for the first time. But so she's trying to come down, she's came down twice. I've only been here like a week or, a little more. No, it was more than a week, because I went to Port Angeles, where I used to live, and I saw my friend down there, and she had my license and some mail for me. And then I stopped in Port Townsend. So, let me see if I can read anything here. Whew. Damn, I can only read so fast. Reese's cup. That's funny. Oh my God, sorry. Did you read the ingredients? Do you see those? If you're still here, Lena, look at the ingredients on the package. Does it have like TBQR or some like 4-letter caps? There's 2 of them even, because there's 3 different ingredients that are banned in Europe on those. And so they have them over there. I think they're called organic or whatever, but they don't have any of those ingredients in them. And they never used to. They never used to have natural flavoring. They never used all these gums. They're putting gums in cream now. So instead of using well, I don't know if they can do that on the whole cream. I know they do it on some of the half and halves, but the half and half is not that bad. It's mostly the cream that they're putting in milk with it and then adding a gum to thicken it back up so it's like cream, but it's not true cream if they're adding these gums in there to thicken them. And I mean, there's so many of these gums now that never were in anything. And then the canola oil is in a lot of stuff now. It's in almost all the baked goods. It's replacing butter. And you know, butter is probably one of the best things you could eat. Eggs and raw dairy and meat. Not pork. I'm not saying pork ever. I don't eat it anymore. And I don't and purposely eat it. I tried a sample somewhere. They told me after I bit into it that it had bacon in it. How could they do that to people? They told me it was like a cheese ball or something, and then they tell me, oh, there was some kind of spice, and I wasn't sure if I'd like the spice, but they didn't tell me about any bacon being in it. And from my understanding, I mean, I don't know if this is true or not, but it makes a lot of sense if you break it down that pork is allegedly a hybrid of wild boar and man. That's why it tastes so good, because humans are the sweetest, best tasting meat there is. I've never eaten it, but I have had pork, and I know that pork tastes good. And also they use pig parts for human parts, like organs, or they use pig organs. Why is it just that particular animal that we get our organs from when we need to replace our organs? And their skin is very smooth and little to no hair, just like ours. And I mean, their skin's gonna be a little tougher because they're half wild boar, so that's a wild animal right there. But you can see that if you took a wild boar and you put a man there, you can visualize what it would look like. If you combined them, it would look like a pig. And plus, why don't the Jews eat pork? There's some reason that they don't eat pork. And I think it's in the Bible that, I don't know, they say certain clean and unclean. I don't know the Bible all that well. I mean, I'm not like a Bible thumper. I'm not a religious person at all. I was raised until I was, I don't know how, well, until the 8th grade, I was raised in a Catholic school. But I didn't buy any of that nonsense. And never once in the whole time that I was in that Catholic school did I see a Bible. Not once in Catholic school. They don't use Bibles. You go to catechism and they teach you their nonsense that they want you to believe, but it's not, it's just messed up, man. I can't believe that. You'd think that the Catholic Church of all places would be having Bibles. No, they didn't have Bibles, but they had those round globes in every classroom. And I'm not pushing the flat earth or anything, but I'm just saying there's elements probably of both, and this is probably a realm. But I think the whole flat earth thing is another thing to get people to fight, because look how many people fight over that. Like, I don't know. I think it's just another thing to get people to fight, because there's probably truth in both of them, but I don't think it's the whole truth. They're not letting us have it. They're not going to let us have it. So there's other stuff I want to talk about, but I'm not going to get into it now because it's a little too involved, and I'm probably not going to be on here too much longer because it's going on an hour. So I'll probably be getting off of here pretty soon now because it's starting to get cold out, and I gotta go park somewhere. I gotta go to a different spot tonight because I don't like to push it, you know. I don't know that they would come back again and say, okay, this is enough. I don't know, but it's every night. It's I got to go find a place to park, or it's not going to bother anybody. It's not on private property. It's not disturbing anybody. I mean, people call the cops on me just because there's a suspicious car outside of their house. A car, just because it's a car they never saw. That's like me calling the cops and saying, I think there's a suspicious person in that house where I'm parked at. Can you go check them out and see? Because they must have some kind of guilty conscience or something. If, I don't know. But that hasn't been, I've been trying to be more careful so I don't park in place. But the last time I did that, in front of somebody's house is when I got the flat tire. So I don't know. That was crazy. And then I ended up having to replace that tire, and all my tires were bad. Because it turns out that the guy turned the tires, the bald tires, this way, so all the bald sides were inside, underneath the car, and turned in that way, so you couldn't see them. So to see how worn they were on those sides, so they were pretty basically bald. So I had to get new tires, and I still have to get something else fixed on my car that they said needed replaced. So I have to still do that yet. I still have things to fix on this vehicle. It's like, what a nightmare that turned into. Like, I wanted an upgrade, something a little bigger, and I got something smaller. It looks bigger from the outside, but it actually held less than my Cadillac did, and I miss my Cadillac. I even cried over it because I missed it so much. It was such a good vehicle, and it didn't cause me any problems. I had it for like 13 years, and I did all the normal upkeep, and it was in good shape. The leather interior, the upholstery was not even ripped anywhere, not even one rip, and the whole inside was just nice and clean and in better shape than this. And it only had 112,000 miles on it, and this has like 219,000 miles. So maybe I can find somebody that will trade me for a bigger van, and I'll do better in a van. Even though this is a sturdy car, it's a 4x4. I could see why guys would like it, but it's such a masculine energy vehicle for me. You know, I liked my Cadillac that was a little more accommodating and feminine, and even though it was strong as a tank, because I think we hit an elk in it, and that was the worst thing that ever happened to the car. Was this elk ran in front of us, and my daughter was driving, and luckily we hit it right in the middle, because if it would have hit, like the bulk of it would have hit on one side or the other, like a couple seconds sooner or later, one side or the other could have got smashed, and one of us would have got hurt. But it hit right dead center. I had to replace the water, what do you call it, the radiator, and the hood, because it smashed that up. But that car is such a tank. Now, if I'd have been in because I had a Dodge Ram too, and I ended up losing that. But if we'd have been in that car and hit it, like without that big, long engine, big in front of us, I don't know, one of us or both of us might not be here, because that car is amazing. And I only got like $300 for it. So anyway, anywho, that's my story. But okay, so it is just an hour right now, so I guess I will go off and try to come back on another time when I have hopefully I can find a place to use my laptop. And I don't know, I just don't understand why I'm not getting Wi-Fi on it, because it's so much better to use that when I do my live streams. I use my iPads just to take videos that I post, of the animals and my travels and stuff like that. But when I do this live stream, I want to do it on my laptop, and I can't figure it out. So hopefully I'll figure it out next time. And I hope you guys are all well. I would like to be doing my art, but I don't really have a place to really do it, like paintings and stuff. So, next time, maybe you could be thinking, because I'm going to ask next time for everybody to put down their something that they do, like artistically or creatively, to make something or create something, um, or a list like of your skill sets. Be proud of it and try to maybe start doing that, because that's where it's going to be at. It's going to be bartering and sharing and helping each other, and less reliance on the money. The money system is going to be probably going down. You got to know that something's going to be happening soon with the whole monetary system, because the Vatican just called all their money from everywhere. They're bringing it all in, whatever their assets around the world, whatever they're doing. So that's a big indicator something's going to happen pretty soon. I'm surprised it hasn't happened already, but all this crypto nonsense and all these other things, I don't even know what they are, because I don't buy into them, and I just they play out. People lose. I guess they they give them something, so they think it's a good thing, and everybody's telling everybody how great it is, and they get everybody in, and then they're gonna be startled, I think, when they find out that it ain't what they thought it was. So, alrighty. Okay, I need to go drink some water. I hope you guys are drinking your salt water. If you can get, that's the next thing I'm going to talk about, I think, because I'm going to start really pushing that seawater. If you can get seawater, freshly harvested seawater from the ocean, that's the healing factor right there. That has all the minerals you need. People pushing all these supplements and stuff. Meanwhile, the capsules are full of crap, cellulose, and who knows what else is in just the capsules that they put it in. And then they put in a whole bunch of fillers and stuff, and they might put in a tiny bit of what they're promoting it for. But even still, these are synthetics. They are not good for you. And if you're relying on supplements, like I'm sure the vegans are, because that's another thing I'm going to be, I don't care. I'm sure I'll lose subs over it. I don't care. But they need to know this. They do not realize what is happening, that they're buying into this idea that vegetables are good for you when they are indigestible cellulose. Our bodies cannot break these down. And the whole, people are like all virtuous and virtue signaling with that, thinking they're better than people who eat meat because they're trying to shame them. Little do they know how much plants give off toxins so that they don't get eaten. Animals don't do that. I think our Creator brought these animals here to feed us. And we don't need as much food as we think we need. We need little bits of food. And it ain't vegetables. And now they're pushing the kale. I can't believe people are like, stuff is nasty. All these green, it was just like a few years ago or something. I mean, I used to eat salads and stuff too, and I liked them. And then all of a sudden, my gut and my whole spirit said, no, 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 no. It was mostly like lettuce and celery and all those kind of things that were normally considered healthy. And it's like, no, this is not right. Something's wrong here. And I couldn't even make sense of it, because it's pushed as such a healthy thing, and it's not. But that's what they do. That's how they play. So you just got to think about the things that they're putting out there for us that are healthy. And I've watched all these things come and go, these trends and everything, for 60 years of watching this. And people, like 20-year-olds are trying to tell me what to do, like they know it all, and they know shit. Most of them are pretty dumbed down. I mean, there's exceptions. I'm not saying they all are, but most of them are pretty brainwashed and mind controlled and don't have a clue. They have nothing to really compare it against. They haven't been around long enough to even make these comparisons, let alone to be bragging on them and making them like they're something good when they're not. So, I mean, it took me a long time to figure it out, and they think they're going to know it within like 10 years. No, it ain't going to happen. So, I don't know. I just feel for humanity, and I'm such an empath, and it's going to be the death of me, I'm sure. I wish I didn't care so much, because it's like almost like a curse in a way, because it's such a hard thing to deal with, like caring so much, and then no one wants to hear you. No one wants to listen, and all I want to do is help people, and I don't even want money for it. People are charging for giving disinformation and misinformation and just bad advice, and I don't think they're doing it on purpose. They just don't know, and they don't have anything to compare, not enough life experience to compare it to. I'm quite surprised that what's his name, Santos, doesn't know this. I think he does know, but he's doing it for money. He's doing it for the wrong reasons, and I am just, I just can't handle that when somebody with that much influence is taking advantage of people, charging them $50 a month or $500 a year to hear stuff that is not healthy for them. Look at him. Look how thin he is and unhealthy. Look at the dark circles under his eyes. Look at that skin that's like transparent and almost like it's this yellow cast. Start listening to these people who were vegans for many years, 10, 15, 20 years, and realized, oh my God, and they hit the end stages of the veganism, and then they're just so sick, and then they start feeding themselves animal fats and eggs and raw dairy. For those who can get it, I'm lucky that I can get it here in Washington, because it was hard to find it in most parts of the country. But I have it like 5, 6, half a dozen places where I can get it. At least 5 places, I think, that I can get raw milk around here. Or within the close vicinity, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 places that are nearby here. Where in other states, like, I have to go to the farmer's farm and try to get it from them, and some of them say they can't sell it, or you can offer to donate money to them or something. I've had people just give me it, though, and they've actually given me colostrum, which is a good thing. It's got so much nutrients, and it's the first milk. Even women do, the human beings, the first milk that comes out of them from their pregnancy when they start feeding their babies is the richest milk you could ever get. And I've gotten it like twice. They just gave it to me. I didn't even have to buy it. So I was happy to get that. Maybe I'll get some more. But then I found out that the guy that I get my meats from, my tenderloin steaks, is leaving to go to Spokane. I guess he's breaking up with his wife, and he's moving his whole farm and everything. What a bummer. Because I got such good deals from them. I was only paying like $9 for 2 tenderloin steaks. $9. Can you believe that? Oh my God. And now they're like, I can get them at the farmer's market, but they cost $32, $36 a pound. It's quite expensive. So, and somebody just stole my little, well, is it here? Nope, I brought it back. My little 1-burner stove. I got a new one, though. My daughter bought me one. So I replaced that, and I got another cast iron skillet. They took all my whole thing. I can't believe I walked away and let it to cool. Usually people don't steal from me. I leave my car unlocked most of the time, because I just trust people, maybe sometimes too much, but that's how I am. I don't want to attract things by being afraid that, people are so into locking their doors and stuff like that. Unless I'm in a really bad neighborhood and it feels kind of like sketchy, like I don't know, then maybe I might lock my door, but most of the time I don't. So that's just how I am. Okay, well, 69 minutes. I said I was going to leave like 10 minutes ago, so I better get off of here and start getting down. So it's nice talking to you guys. I hope everyone's healthy and happy and every good thing. And I will try to come back on in a couple of days. Oh, hi there, Fitted. How you doing? Haven't seen you for a while, just as I'm getting ready to go off now. Um, Sorry I didn't have my, can't keep this damn chat thing up, so that's the main reason why I like to use my laptop, is because the chat stays up and I can read and respond to you guys, but otherwise I have to keep hitting the screen, popping it up, put my glass, trying to go through this whole rigmarole, trying to get it to stay. I can't get it to stay up. That's all there is to it. And it's frustrating because I liked it, because I want to interact with the chat. I don't, because I could just make a video and just blah 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 and go on, but I like the interaction and I want to know what people want to talk about so I can talk about it. Like, I mean, I have a lot to teach people and I really want to do that. And I mean, I get my greatest satisfaction out of somebody like getting it. I don't need them to give me money or any, big pats, I don't even expect really a thank you, but I mean, I've had people come to me years later and thank me for something I did for them that I totally forgot about. I used to be a sponsor for women and stuff like, and most people are in denial when they're just coming off of drugs or alcohol, and they don't want to hear anything or anything. But then they realize later that you were trying to help them and you really did care about them, and then they come and apologize and thank you for helping them through whatever stage they're in, and helping them to see things differently and step out of that whole addiction world. It's an awful place to be. Okay, well, thank you everyone for coming, and thanks for all your likes and whatever. And I will catch you the next time. So, stay well and happy. Okay, good thing.